Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly epic, cinematic story of business, innovation, and honestly just sheer hustle. We're going to trace the absolutely phenomenal journey of Coca Cola. We're talking about a story that starts with microscopic roots in a local pharmacy back in 1886 and literally explodes into a global beverage icon that is recognized in, well, pretty much every single corner of the planet today. So you might want to grab your notebook, because the lessons in scale and brand building we're about to uncover are absolutely fascinating.
Okay, let's dive into this by starting with just a single number, 5 cents. Think about the massive, towering global empire that Coca Cola is today, and then contrast that with its incredibly humble beginnings. It all started with an Atlanta pharmacist named Dr. John S. Pemberton. He whipped up the sweet, aromatic syrup that he actually intended to be a medicinal tonic. He took his syrup, mixed it with carbonated water, and started selling it by the glass at a place called Jacob's Pharmacy. And the price for a glass of this brand new concoction? Just 5 cents. It's kind of wild to think that one of the most valuable brands in human history started out as a literal nickel beverage at a local pharmacy counter.
And that brings us perfectly to Section 1, the origin, the 5-cent pharmacy tonic.
Now, to really understand the name, we have to look at the original recipe. It relied on extracts from the coca leaf and the cola nut to give it flavor and a nice little kick of caffeine. But here's the thing, Dr. Pemberton didn't actually come up with the famous name himself. That credit goes to his bookkeeper, a guy named Frank M. Robinson. Robinson wasn't just in the back room crunching numbers, he had an incredible eye for marketing and design. He brilliantly suggested combining the names of those two botanical ingredients into Coca Cola. And he didn't stop there. He also designed the visual identity, creating that flowing, instantly recognizable Spencerian script logo that the company still uses today. Sadly, though, during this time, Dr. Pemberton was in really poor health and incredibly short on cash. So to raise money, he was forced to sell off portions of his business to partners, parting with his absolute masterpiece before he could ever see its true potential. Which leads us directly into Section 2, the hustle, building a household name.
So after Dr. Pemberton passed away, a pretty shrewd businessman named Asa Candler swooped in and acquired the rights to Coca-Cola. And Candler, he brought a massive vision. The scale up here is incredibly rapid. We start in 1886 with the invention of the tonic, jump forward just a few years to the late 1880s, and Candler incorporates the company. Boom! Into the 1890s, and suddenly, what was once a tiny local Atlanta drink has established a massive national brand presence across the United States. And by 1899, they introduced franchise bottling rights. Think about that. In just over a single decade, this product went from a local, totally unknown invention to a rapidly expanding national enterprise. So how on earth did Candler pull off that kind of growth so fast?
And this brilliantly illustrates the answer. Aggressive, relentless marketing. He didn't just sit around waiting for customers to come to the pharmacy, he went straight to them. He practically pioneered the use of promotional coupons to get people to just try the drink. He plastered print advertisements absolutely everywhere. He bought up streetcar signs. He even created branded merchandise. Candler's strategy was simple but highly effective. Force the drink in front of Americans every single day. Through persistent promotion, he made sure Coca-Cola became a true household name.
That brings us to Section 3, the bottling breakthrough.
Now, to fulfill that massive national demand he just created, Candler knew he needed scale. That led to a pivotal 1899 agreement with two entrepreneurs, Benjamin Thomas and Joseph Whitehead, to establish a genius franchise model. Let's break down the mechanics of this engine, because it is literally the secret to their global reach. Step 1. Independent bottlers are given the rights to produce the beverage locally. Step 2. They bottle the beverage in their own facilities. Step 3. They distribute the product to their local stores. This model is absolutely brilliant. Why? Because it allowed the brand to rapidly expand its geographic reach without the core Coca-Cola company having to spend a fortune building and managing every single local factory. They effectively outsourced the heavy lifting to independent entrepreneurs, all while keeping total control of the brand and the syrup. When we compare the soda fountain era to the bottled era, we see a fundamental shift in the business. Early on, the drink was sold strictly by the glass. It was completely stationary, right? Just a local pharmacy novelty. But look at the bottled era. Suddenly, the product can be shipped in crates, it can be tossed in a refrigerator, it can be sold in any grocery store at any corner market across the entire country. This shift is an absolute masterclass in scalable distribution. Bottling fundamentally changed the physical nature of the product, finally liberating it from the pharmacy counter.
Of course, as a company grows into a national powerhouse, it has to adapt. That brings us to Section 4, the evolution of the secret formula.
To survive over decades, a company must adapt to strict new regulatory standards. As we talked about earlier, the 19th century formula included coca leaf extracts, which historically contained trace amounts of cocaine. However, moving into the 20th century formula, those extracts were completely removed. As scientific understanding deepened and public regulations shifted in the early 20th century, the company smartly adopted its production standards. But here is the really remarkable part. They managed to remove those trace elements while entirely maintaining that distinct signature flavor profile the public had already fallen in love with. Now that is incredible product adaptability.
Which brings us to Section 5, the identity, crafting a global identity.
Adapting the product was only the first step, right? Coca Cola ultimately evolved beyond just a beverage into a powerful visual and cultural pillar. So the crucial point is that they didn't just sell a drink, they sold a feeling. They cultivated a deep emotional connection through their visual identity. It started with those early printed ads and calendars, but a massive leap forward was the introduction of the iconic contour bottle in 1915. It's a shape so distinct you could literally recognize it in the dark. From there, they actively associated the brand with American leisure, holidays, and just pure happiness. And perhaps most famously, they amplified their marketing with warm, joyful imagery of Santa Claus. These campaigns secured not just market dominance, but true global emotional resonance. They literally became a symbol of joy.
When we bring all these mini narratives together, we get the ultimate recipe for a global empire. This massive success wasn't built on luck. It was a finely tuned, equal blend of three vital things. A consistent, adaptable product takes up a third of the equation. Bold, relentless marketing takes up another third. And that genius, scalable distribution model rounding out the rest. That infrastructure is exactly what allowed for international market expansion, ensuring that all those big marketing promises could actually be fulfilled anywhere in the world.
Honestly, this quote from our source material serves as the perfect summary of this epic journey. It reads, "What began as a pharmacist syrup in Atlanta became a global beverage company by blending invention, entrepreneurship, and marketing innovation. It is the ultimate testament to how a simple, local invention can be utterly transformed by relentless entrepreneurial hustle and incredibly strategic foresight."
Which leaves us with this final, really provocative thought to ponder. If a simple nickel syrup from 1886 could be scaled into one of the most recognizable brands on the planet through franchising, branding, and pure hustle, what humble 5-cent idea is sitting in our local pharmacies or corner stores right now, just waiting for the right marketing and the right visionary to take it global? The next massive empire might just be hiding in plain sight. Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating journey with me today. Keep observing, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.